YouTube? This is Dan the Fix-It Man. Got another quick video here for you. Today I'm going to add some auxiliary reverse lights to my 2004 Toyota Tundra double cab. Now you can see that I've got the shell on here. This is the snug top shell. It's great, love it. But the glass back here is tinted and so are my side windows. It's kind of difficult at night to see, especially in an area that is not well lit with just these stock reverse lights. Right now during coronavirus, it's just a little side project I thought I would do since we're all kind of staying here at home. So this is a project I've been thinking about, but this company Z Moon contacted me and sent me these lights and asked me to do an honest review, and I said, sure, why not? They even come with a little switch and a wiring harness that includes a relay. I'll just give these a try and I'll let you guys know what I think about them. I've already got one mounted on the truck underneath and I'll show you how I did that. This does come with the adjustable mount here. It even comes with an Allen wrench to change that. You can mount these just with any type of hardware. You know, the sky's the limit really. And this has got many adjustments. You can even flip this around and you can mount this with the mount right in the back of the light. You could use just about anything, any piece of metal, or you could even just bolt this right into the frame or into that side if you wanted to. These are just some scrap pieces of aluminum that I've already cut and drilled, and I've got a couple bolts to mount this on either side of the frame. The reason I did it this way is because there's a hole in the frame. So the idea is that these are basically bolted back to back, and then that gives me this little drop down piece to attach the light to. I'll show you how it turned out on the other side. There's a large cutout right here, and so I just put this plate with two bolts on either side of it and then mounted the light. And of course I've got full adjustability. I can tilt these up a little bit, I can tilt them out a little bit. I was going to center this and put it over here, but with this it kind of drops down in the light pattern, I think, so I'm just going to try them with them out over here. I kind of wanted it to be tucked underneath the bumper so you don't really see it when you're standing behind the vehicle. So that's at eye level behind the truck. You can't even see it hanging down there. So now I'm going to kind of bend down, and there it is. I was going to start with just this and put a new hole in that bumper frame or bumper support piece, and then I was going to just have this drop down. But I thought, you know what, if I just put something on the back of it, I can just use that larger hole that's already there. I'll get this other one mounted and then we'll work on the wiring. A nut on the other side. Those are locking flange nuts there. They should stay on. Now, you don't have to use aluminum, of course. This is just some scraps that I had in the garage. Same with the bolts and nuts. That's just what I had. The bolt shaft is 5/16. I think it's the same as what comes on this light here, which I'm going to mount this now. Just putting it up through here. This comes with a little lock washer. We can always come back and adjust that as needed. See how this slides up and down? It's going to turn these a little bit to where they're snug right now. That's what it looks like here from behind. You can see the other one. I think that works. They're really not sticking down too far. This kit comes with this harness. So it's got this little on-off switch that has its own power source, and then it's got its own ground, and then the switch wire or the white wire goes to your relay. That really, I've already cut it off because I'm not going to use the switch. I'm going to have this signal wire to my relay come from my backup lights. So all of this right here, not going to use it. Just wanted to make a quick note here. You know, this power source for your switch, that is going to light up this little LED off or on. If you hook this up straight to the battery, you're going to drain your battery, or you're going to have a slight draw. Keep that in mind if you plan on using this switch. You might be able to find a circuit that's only hot when the car is on, if that's how you want to set this up, if you're going to use the switch. Now on these lights, you know, you could wire these directly in the same circuit as your reverse lights, and that probably wouldn't be a big deal at all. Since it comes with a relay already on here, I am going to use it. Here's your red wire right here, which would go to your power source to power the relay. Obviously that's not long enough for me to get to the battery. I've got another line that runs all the way to the front to the battery with another inline fuse for my interior lamp here. That's what we're going to tie into. The black wire we need to ground, and then this white wire that I've cut out of the switch harness, this is just going to be just our standard signal wire, and that's what's going to activate the relay and tell those lights to turn on. The light did not come with any connectors. Like, these are already on here on the harness, but the light is just raw wire. So I could cut these and solder it, but I want to have a connection so that I can take these off if I ever need to mess with it later. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the same type of male spade connector to plug into these. But I think that's it on the wiring. Hopefully that answers any questions. It just kind of tells you what I'm doing. There might be a different way to do it, or maybe I'm doing it completely wrong. Let me know in the comments if there's something you would have done differently. I'll get down underneath here and show you how I'm going to set that up. Standard little automotive test light here. Got it grounded out on this little bracket where that harness sits. And this is what I wanted to show you right here. This wire that goes into light from my shell. We've got power there. Not the best connection, so we're going to fix that there too. Several years ago, one of the windows broke in my shell, and I did not have the light hooked up. It was a Lear dealer here in town. He offered to hook up the light for me, and I said sure. So he ran this wire. I can see now. I never really got down here, but besides the fact that that's not all the way connected, no big deal. But you know, the wire, if I look over here, he's just run it along the frame rail without any protection. I might have done it that way too, but it would have been nice to have like some shield like this. So I'll probably add that later. But that does go all the way to the battery, and it's got a fuse in line. I have noticed that. So we need to find our signal wire for our reverse lamp or our backup lamp. This little plate or cover shows us what each pin is in this trailer harness connector here. You could always just go into the back of the tail light assembly and just plug into that wire. I figured since it's right here, I might as well use this. I've got the truck in reverse, parking brake is on, and I got the tires chalked as well. But we should have power here now at the backup lamp, the one in the middle. There we go. We'll come around to the back and see what wire that is. I had to take off this little cover right here, which I'm glad I did because it was full of dirt and mud, so I'm going to clean this all out. But if you can see, the center wire there is yellow. And I'm not going to tap into it down here. We'll go up above. I'm just going to peel this down. We'll cut this yellow wire, and that's where we'll make our connection for our signal wire. They didn't leave me a lot of length here on the ground wire, so I thought about just adding a little screw and cleaning off some of the frame and making its own ground. But I think what I'll do is, I see right here I've also got a ground wire in this harness, and I'll just probably connect the relay ground to this same ground. So this white wire is ground. I'll put my signal wire here on the yellow wire, and then my ground is my white wire here. This is that power wire that I'm about to tap into in the back, and it's just hooked directly into the battery. If you didn't have this already run or didn't have a power source back there already, that's what you would do, is basically extend that power wire, run it all the way up to the battery. Just make sure you've got the inline fuse, to like the one that comes in that kit. Just make sure you do put it in this protective shielding all the way back. Looks like they just did it up here in the front, and then in the back it doesn't have the shield on it. But I almost forgot, I do want to disconnect the ground on the battery here. Anytime you're doing any electrical connections, you want to disconnect the battery, so I'm just going to pull this off real quick. These are these heat shrink butt connectors, watertight. In addition to that, I just added some of this heat shrink tube that I had. So I just thought, might as well use both and make sure that it's extra waterproof. So that's what I did for the signal wire, and here for my ground wire. I'm going to do the same thing over here for the power wire. So I've got the power wire connected here, double heat shrink in that butt connector. And I pulled this little plastic tab out so I could have a little bit more room to work on this. And I've got this shield peeled back here too. Tape these all back together and then put them inside this to protect everything. And then I'm going to zip tie the relay back up here where I had it. I just had to drop it down so I had a little bit more room to work. Alright, so I've kind of got it all buttoned back up here with the shield back on here. Plug this back up, this little plastic tab where I took it off. I had to add these little blade connectors here, these little male spade connectors. And I've got some heat shrink tubing here on the harness. Get these connected, black to black. Slide that down, and then white to red. I'm just going to tape this up too here. Alright. Got this little elbow connector back on. Because it was full of dirt and debris, after I snapped it back on, I put a little bit of tape there on the front and on the back just to see if we can keep some dust and dirt out of there. And then I've got that wire just kind of zip tied along this other harness up at the top with the excess just bunched up here. Now the other light right here, got the wire coming I just went up over this little frame rail just to tuck it up a little bit nicer. Now here's our relay, just zip tied up here onto that little hole, and our fuse right here. I'll probably come back and put some sort of a shield on that just to protect that from shorting out. It does have an inline fuse though, and then we've got another inline fuse here. On the relay, you see down here at the bottom of the relay, we kind of have these exposed wires or these exposed connections. So I'm just gonna cover it in some dielectric grease and just kind of smear some in there, and hopefully that will prevent any water getting in there and causing any type of corrosion or shorting that out. Then I need to reconnect our negative on our battery here. All right, I'm gonna go throw the truck in reverse and we'll see if those come on. Well, there you go, they work. I'll come back at night and show you what they look like. They look really bright in daylight here, so I think they're gonna look great at night. And that's what they look like at dusk. Wanted to give you another little comparison here, but I'm pretty excited to see what this looks like in the dark. Okay, so there's the standard reverse lights. There's a pretty good before for you. There's a before of the garage. This is just my standard reverse lights. Okay, and then here's a shot of it after. Huge difference. If I come down here, you can see that's what they look like. And let's walk over here, and that's the garage. So there's a good after shot for you. Definitely gonna see so much better. Really good light pattern here. Let's throw in light as far as you'll need it to be able to back up. And I was thinking about aiming them outward a little bit, but I think this is gonna be just fine. I really am happy with this. I wish I would have done it sooner. Such an easy upgrade to be able to see so much more when you're backing up, especially in an area where it's dark. I'm real happy with where I mounted them. They're not sticking down, not gonna, drag on anything. Just want to say thanks again to the company Z Moon for sending these to me. If I have any issues with them down the road, I'll let you guys know for sure in the description. Pretty easy install. I would do it again in a heartbeat. I would buy them. Even though they did give them to me for free. That was very nice of them to review and everything, but I would definitely buy these. They're very inexpensive, and this is an awesome upgrade, as you can see. And that's it. I'm going to wrap it up for the night. Hope you liked the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you don't mind. That does help me out. Like I said, get a link in the description to these lights so you can pick them up as well. Thanks so much for watching, and good luck.